Okay. Shall we start? Close your eyes. Close your eyes. We'll just start by chanting Om and a few mantras. You can repeat after me. Close your eyes. Repeat after me. Om. Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat, Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri, Gurave Namaha. Slowly open your eyes. My pranams to all. Is everybody able to hear me? Can we start the session?
Yes.
Okay. So today's session is very special and auspicious. Why so? We'll explore. But before we start the actual discussion on the teaching of the Gita and contemplation of Vedanta, I'll just give an exposure to a practice called Omkara meditation, Omkara Dhyana, that which you can carry forward after the session in the gaps between the sessions. Okay, so have you all heard of this word Om?
Yes.
What is Om? What is Om? Meenakshi?
Heard but not aware what is Om.
Heard but not aware. Okay. Pradeep, what is Om?
Start every chapter, but
So everything starts with Om. Why does everything starts with Om? All mantras, all pujas, all prayers, everything starts with Om. What is Om?
Bijakshari mantra.
Bijakshari mantra means what?
I think it's the sound of the universe.
Sound of the universe. So
actually, I heard that when we hear the we get this sound from Shanka, so which we get in the ocean.
Right.
So when we clearly hear that, we get this sound from that. I heard that, but yeah, I don't
It's
know
true.
exactly.
So the sound in a silent place, the sound that is heard is Om. The sound in space where there's no sound, using devices, the scientists, when they hear it, they have heard Om. The sound that the child makes, the first sound, although it says Amma or Ma, it is Omkara. So Omkara has three sounds: Akara, U, Ukara, and Ma, Makara. So Om is U, and Ma. Okay. Now it's called a primordial sound. It's called the first thing that came out of pure consciousness. So in the silent, soundless consciousness, the first thing that came out is the sound Om. And that is also the last thing. There's nothing after that. Om itself becomes everything else. If you see, the beauty of Om is to say to say U, to say Ma, your tongue doesn't move. The tongue doesn't move to say U, Ma. But to say any other word, the tongue moves. So the tongue, whatever you're speaking, is just a different form
Sound.
of Omkara. Like you take any name, Pradeep, there you can again distill it to Akara, Ukara, Makara. Pra, comes from pra, the deformation of I becomes pra, di, da, eep, e comes from Ukara. So anything that you say is nothing but Omkara only, different form of Omkara. Even if somebody abuses somebody with a bad word, what are they actually saying? There is nothing that you can say without saying Om. So whatever we are speaking, whatever anybody is saying, is Om in some form. And to better understand this, do you all have television at home?
Yes.
Yes.
So how many colors do you see on the television?
RGB, red.
There are only RGB, 3 colors transmitted, but you see million colors. The same RGB are mixed in different proportions and they become various colors.
Yes.
In the same way, there was only one transmission that came out of Bhagwan. That is U, Ma. And that's why Om is kept at a highest pedestal in all religions. In Hinduism, it's Om. In Buddhism, it's Om. Jainism, it's Om. In Christianity, it's Amen. In Islam, it's Amin. So there's one, even though religions fight about so many things, they do not fight about Om. Okay, Om, everybody agrees, is sacred and it's primordial. And Omkara is the name of God. Whatever other name that has come out from some interpreted mind, some different version of probably from a sacred being or from some mind. You call God by many names, whatever names we have for God. Those are all secondary. The primary and first name that God gave to himself is what?
Om.
That is why when you say somebody's name, like when I say your name, Prasad or Pratik or Tanvi or Pradeep or Meenakshi or Mohan, immediately you respond, right? Even if you're sleeping, somebody shouts your name, you respond, correct? So by that logic, if I call your name, if you are responding, if you call God's name, he should also respond, correct? and the response comes immediately when you call God by his true name, which is Om. That is why when you chant Omkara, the mind becomes immediately, instantly silent. And that silence is Bhagavan. That's why in the group also I shared Shantakaram. In the Vishnu Sahasranama, Shantakaram Bhujagashayana Padmanabham Suresham. The name of Bhagavan is the form of Bhagavan is Shanti. He immediately comes in the form of peace when you call his real name Om. You understand? So this Omkara Dhyana, it's only very simple. The meditation on Om itself brings the presence and connection with the divine and also liberation. So you must have seen in movies and stories where people are doing tapasya and they're chanting Om, 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 right? The Omkara Dhyana is the most ancient meditation. Okay? Most ancient, most natural, most sacred, because it is a direct meditation wherein you are contemplating on the primordial sound, which is the reality of everything that you see. See what you're seeing right now. Like there's something behind me. What is behind me?
Wall.
Wall. Wall is name and a form. There's a name wall and there's a form wall. There's a object that is wall. Correct? The name is Om. I told you whatever name that comes out of your mind is just of your tongue. It's a corruption of Om. It's a different form of Om. Not say corruption, it's a different form of Om. So the name primordially is Om. The form is also Om. What is the form? What is the wall made up of?
Stone.
What is stone made up of?
Soil.
And what is sand made up of?
Mother Nature.
Sand is made up of molecules. Molecules are made up of atoms. Atoms are made up of subatomic particles. What are the subatomic particles made up of? They are made up of energy. Okay? So energy, then subatomic particles, atoms, so on and so forth, and then you see the form. So if you go deeper into anything, the deepest point you'll hit is energy. Clear? And that energy is the moment Om. Energy cannot be seen. It's like electricity. So you have a light in the house, correct? The light, you can see the light and you can see the fan and you can see the microwave, you can see the form, but you cannot see what runs it. Electricity you cannot see. You can experience electricity when you put your finger into the socket. Okay? The same way you can experience God when you chant Om. The name is Om, the form is also Om. There is nothing apart from Om in the universe. The entire universe is made up of Om. Whenever anybody is saying anything, they're saying Om. Whatever you're seeing Om. You're seeing, and that Om is Bhagavan. Is this much clear? Like whatever you're seeing on the TV is only RGB. It's only red, blue, green, mixed in various proportions. So in quantum physics, they have this is not no more a spiritual science. It's actual material science where quantum physicists now say, so there's Newtonian physics, which is older. Then there is quantum physics, which is a more advanced and more recent exploration in science. So they have understood, they say that, do you know how much matter is there in the universe? So we see all the buildings and ocean and mountains and earth and planets and moon and star and sun. which are gigantic magnanimous objects, if you condense all the matter in the universe, it will all fit in 1 teaspoon. How much?
Teaspoon.
1 teaspoon. The entire universe. Remove all the space between all the atoms and the particles. It condenses into something that you can hold in 1 teaspoon. Okay, so you feel you have a solid body. Understand? You feel, okay, I am so big. But where are you in that teaspoon? Beyond microscopic. Okay, so what is really there is the name and the form, what we perceive as name and the form, but we have never inquired on the background of the name of the form. Like you see the TV, you never inquired, how is this, what I'm seeing, forming? And it is forming because of RGB. And in the same way, whatever you see outside of the TV is forming because of a Uma. Clear? So let us experience this. Let us chant a Uma, and you will. A Uma does 2 things. It has 2 effects. One is it immediately silences the mind, and it connects you to the deepest divine nature. Makes you experience the presence of the divine, and it also burns out your association with the name and the form. It burns out your attachment to the name and the form. You understand? For example, you look at something and it's all muddy. You get some object in your hand, it's all dirty and muddy, greasy and muddy. So you feel like discarding it. But the moment you realize it's gold, okay, even though you still see the dirt, the grease, the disgust, you will not discard it because you understand what it is. You understand? So to recognize the divinity is the same thing. When you recognize the divinity in everything, all that was troubling you now starts becoming very close to you. All the words that were harming you now gets converted to chanting of Bhagwan's name. There is nothing anybody can say on the planet apart from the name of God. There is nothing you can see on the planet apart from a different form of God. Okay? So that is the importance of Om. Sri Krishna Bhagavan talks about this Omkara Dhyana in one of the chapters where he elaborates and he tells Arjuna the benefits of chanting Om and what especially happens if somebody chants Om at the time of death, or what happens if somebody practices Omkara. That I'll come to in a different session. Today is just an introduction. And all the other scriptures also give a special preference to Om. There is an Upanishad only on Om called the Mandukya Upanishad. It is the smallest Upanishad. It has only 12 shlokas, and the 12 shlokas are about Om. 3 shlokas about A, 3 shlokas about U, 3 shlokas about Ma, and the last 3 shlokas about Om, the benefit of Om. So, and there's a way to chant do the dhyana. So we'll start now. We'll do it for some time and then we'll get into contemplation. Is everybody okay with this? Any questions so far?
No.
Okay. So now let's just do one small experiment. Let us chant we'll chant and I want you to identify the place where it starts from in your body, or where you feel the most vibration. So when you chant there's a vibration in the body. I want you to locate where the vibration is happening. Okay? Close your eyes. Let us all chant you can chant after me and try to experience where the vibration happens in the body.
Uh, uh, uh,
So where do you experience the vibration?
I felt in chest.
Chest. Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah,
Dummy.
same chest.
Tummy. Okay.
Tummy.
Tummy. So the starts from the stomach. So starts from when you will feel majorly. So what happens when you chant it rises up, but it starts from the bottom of the spine, and it mostly vibrates in the stomach. Then you have oo. Now let us see where we experience oo. Ooh. Ooh. Where do you experience Ukara?
Chest.
Chest. Ukara happens in the heart center, the chest center. Now the last is Ma. Ma is chanted as So repeat after me. Mm.
Mm,
Mm.
mm,
Now we'll start from You can chant after me. Uh, ooh.
ooh,
Mm.
mm.
Open your eyes. So did you experience it? In the stomach, O in the chest, and happens in the head area.
Right.
Is this clear? Is everybody in sync? Anybody who did not experience it?
For me, and ooh, I'm not so sure about stomach and chest.
Okay, where
I
does
felt
it happen?
both the things.
Both happen in the
I felt
chest.
it in chest, yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. So you might experience it more. The more you practice it, it becomes very evident. So the sound itself to say comes from the stomach. Then U, then Ma. So why is it in this way? Because the movement of the energy is from bottom to top. The top is told to be this is called the pineal and the pituitary gland. Okay. So our spinal cord has three parts biologically. Everybody knows about theory of evolution, right? What did you evolve from?
Monkeys.
Life evolved through various organisms, from amoeba to then
Yes.
crawling creatures, so on and so forth, and then finally more evolved beings, and then human being. So the human spine still carries all that data. So the spine has three parts, and this is biologically and scientifically that the bottom part of the spine is called the reptilian brain. That's why when you get fear, where do you feel the fear? The fear distorts the bottom of the stomach. You immediately want to rush to the loo. The shivering starts, right? It catches you below, at the bottom, near the bottom of the spine. That comes from your life of fight and flight. So that's why the bottom of the spine is called the reptilian brain. The reptilian life is only fight and flight. It only knows only two responses, either fight or flight, run away. And it's a life of fear. Fear of the predator, fear of mostly something that's going to harm it. And even though you might be in a human body, people can live a reptilian life. Body is human, but mind is reptilian. Have you seen such people? Body is human, but mind is like a monkey. That part is very clear. Mind is so fickle. Body is human, but mind is of a predator. We see that such people. Body is human, but rage, animal instincts. So all that becomes because the body has evolved, the mind has not evolved to be a human. The body is very evolved, has become very evolved. But the mind is still, no matter what the person has, education, power, everything, ultimately what do they use it for? Animal instincts of food. It can either be food, sleep, sex. These are called the animal instincts, which is common between us and all animals. Ahara, food, nidra, sleep, bhaya, fear, maithuna, sex. Okay, so you will just observe people, no matter what they get, whatever desire they fulfill, ultimately is used for animal instincts. Okay, that is called the reptilian brain. Then there's a mid part of the brain. The mid part of the brain is an emotional brain, where the evolution has moved from reptiles to mammals. So there you see more compassion, okay, giving to childbirth, and the mammals take care of the child. So more emotional connect. So people either are reptilian inside or emotional. Have you seen emotional people? Or are you emotional? Anything happens, you need a handkerchief. Watching a movie, you need two handkerchiefs. Okay, so something comes up, tear starts rolling down, or you start becoming emotional. When I say emotional, it's the six. It's either jealousy, anger, hate, pride, or kama, krodha, attachment. So did any of you go through the video link that I sent about emotions? How many of you went through? Raise your hand.
I went through half.
You went through half. Okay, so that was a talk about emotions, which I'll discuss either if it's required today, I will do that today or at a later point. So we have 6 emotions: kama, krodha. Kama is desire, krodha is anger, lobha is greed, moha, attachment, mada is pride, that is jealousy. Okay, clear? So how many of you stuck in this 6 emotions? Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. And these emotions are uncontrolled. They control you. You don't control them. For example, when you get anger, does anger control you or you control the anger?
Anger will control us.
Everybody's trying to control anger management. There are courses on anger management, and all the trainers are making billions of dollars teaching people anger management. Nobody is able to control anger. The anger is controlling everybody. And then the frustration, oh my God, I paid so much money and anger is still controlling me. Get angry about it. Okay, so basically the emotions start controlling you. That is because of the emotional part of the brain. Then there is the divine part of the brain, the third part of the brain, the spinal cord, which is the pituitary gland and the pineal gland, this and this center. This and this medically are very, very crucial. This is the gland that controls all your other glands. It controls your hormones, it controls your thyroid gland, it controls all the other major functioning of the body. If there's distortion in this gland, some other gland will get affected. Okay, and this gland gets distorted. Why? Not because somebody hit here, because of emotional
using it.
disturbance.
Emotional disturbances.
So emotional disturbances causes diseases in the body. That's what I covered in the video. 99% of the diseases that we know in the world are psychosomatic. They are from the disturbance of the mind. Only a few diseases are because of bacteria or some coronavirus or accident. Okay, but major diseases, cancer, arthritis, diabetes, all the major diseases are because of autoimmune diseases. They're all directly connected to emotional disturbances. Okay, and the emotional disturbance affects the pituitary gland and the pineal gland. So in yoga, in dhyana, in the Omkara dhyana, these two, so it works from the bottom. It fixes, it starts correcting the energies from the lower glands, from the lower gland to the digestive gland, to the emotional center, to the thyroid center, to the intelligence center, and the divine center. So all these are retuned to be in their natural state. That's what Omkara meditation does. Is it clear? What is the approach here? So it is the approach of the spine. This meditation is operation on the spine. You understand? So recently,
And is that related to chakras that
yes,
we call?
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Jnanendriyas.
This is what is called as the six chakras. I'll cover it in a later stage. And each chakra is with one gland of the body, one center. The Omkara meditation clears up all the chakras, the energy systems, biologically, psychologically, and spiritually. So it works on three layers. It works on your lower spine, it works on the mid spine, and it works on the top part of the brain. Mostly on the pituitary and pineal. That is what brings you divine intuition. As a reptile, you work out of fear and fight and flight, fear and desire. As a emotional animal, you work out of emotions. You're an emotional person. People who operate from the top part of the brain, they are told to be divine in the human form. You can be an animal in the human being, or you can be a human in the human being, or you can be divine in the human being. It's a choice. You understand? If the choice is not made consciously, unconsciously you're in the lower. You cannot move from the lower to the higher unconsciously. It has to happen consciously. You understand? So evolution brought you so far unconsciously. Whether you do or don't do, you will evolve into, the monkey will evolve into the human being. There's no conscious effort. But to jump from the human to the divine, there is conscious effort required because it's a plane of consciousness. Understanding? That is why this dialogue, that is why the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna, who is a warrior, is supposed to be fearless. He is jumped into the reptilian brain. Okay? And he is overcome by his emotional brain. He is overcome by his attachment to the people he is fighting. Now, Krishna, by the Bhagavad Gita, is shifting him from reptile, from human to divine. Now he becomes a divine instrument. After the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is no longer reptile, no longer emotional. He becomes divine instrument. This is our journey. This is the purpose of human birth. In no other birth is this shift possible. In no other creature can they recognize who they are. Can they overcome flight and flight? Can they overcome emotion? Only in a human birth you can overcome emotion and recognize the divinity. If you don't do that, you have wasted the human life. If you don't do that, you are again doing what the animal is doing. What the animal is doing is building a cave. The bird is building a nest. You are building a house. No difference. The animal is taking care of its young. You are also taking care of your children. The animal is getting old and dying. You are also getting old and dying. There is no difference between your life and animal life. If you don't shift to the next level. Is there any other difference? Anybody? What makes you different from an animal? I see Tanvi eating. Animals also eat. Tanvi, you're not audible. Prasad sir, is it clear?
It is, yeah.
There is no difference between a human and an animal, no, regardless who the human being is. Might be the most intelligent, powerful person, still uses all that for what does the person use it for? That is the question. So in the case of a Buddha, what happens is the Buddha or the enlightened one or Krishna, he becomes free from human tendencies, emotional tendencies, and becomes a divine being, meaning their thinking is from the plane of consciousness. Their thinking and actions are divine actions and thought. That is why whatever they do impacts the entire world and other human beings. They're able to touch lives. Sorry, somebody said something? Clear? So shall we start the Omkara meditation?
Yeah.
So the process is simple. We will chant A, then U, then M. And as we chant it, we'll observe the movement of the energy up. And once it becomes M, there is a silence. Observe the silence. Omkara has two parts, sound and silence. The sound is A, U, M. And the silence is the absence of thought, feeling, emotion, and the world. The more you observe the silence, the more you can experience that in the waking state. No matter what is happening externally, you'll be able to retain that silence. Understand? Shall we start it now? So keep your spine straight. The spine has to be erect. Keep your spine straight. You can chant, you can repeat after me. I'll be guiding you through the meditation. Just follow me. Close your eyes. Let us start with the bottom of the spine, the lower center, by chanting A, which purifies all the energy centers around, in and around the stomach area, and starts moving the energy upwards. Observe the silence that's created by the movement of the energy that moves up. Observe the silence. Let us start again. Observe the silence. Again. Now we'll chant Om. You can chant after me. Om. Observe the silence and the vibration in the top of the head, either at the forehead or the top of the head. Keep your awareness at the center of your forehead or at the top of your head, and just observe the sensation you might feel there. Now visualize the hand, palm of God, of your favorite deity, or your guru or deity. The palm has been placed on the top of your head. Visualize the palm of God, your favorite deity, or guru on the top of your head, and just keep your mind at the top of your head and experience the sensation, vibration, silence. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Slowly rub your palms together and place them on your eyes. And slowly open your eyes. So, Pradeep, what happened?
I felt so calm and I felt okay. This time I felt, oh, what is happening with Om within me? I was trying to concentrate how the vibration is coming out. And I
Okay.
felt so good like that.
Okay. Were you able to visualize the energy at the top of the head?
Yeah, but I think I need to work on that much. But
Okay.
I felt something, but I can't explain that.
Okay, that's good. But the mind was silent. Were you distracted?
Yeah. No,
Very good.
not as usual.
Very good. Meenakshi?
Yeah, I can sense my guru. I mean, the deity. Said,
Okay. Was the mind calm?
yes, Monica.
Were you able to experience the energy moment to the top?
Yeah, it was very calm, silent, and peaceful.
Very nice. Prasad, sir?
Yeah, felt very peaceful actually. And I think after practicing, the A, U, and Om Ma 3 times, and then Omkara, so you can see I was able to feel the kind of the energy flow upwards that way.
Right.
Otherwise, when I normally chant Om, I never realized that kind of flow.
Okay.
But I was able to kind of feel the flow of energy that way. That was very good.
Very nice. Were you able to visualize the deity or the guru?
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. Pratik?
Yeah, it was peaceful. I was, I was feeling the energy at the top of my head, and it was kind of my top of the head became heavy.
Okay.
I don't know whether that was the energy. Yeah.
Okay. Was the mind peaceful?
Yes. Yes.
Very nice. Tanvi? No, you're not audible. You can type it in the chat. Meanwhile, Mohan, Vijay, were you able to experience?
Yeah, I was able to. I felt as it was flowing from my palms
Okay.
and some type of heat. My body became. My body was hot. I felt it. I was
Very nice.
and at one point of time, I felt like, as the Pratik was saying, it became very.
Okay.
And I was able to visualize my guru and it was very calm.
Very nice. Mohan?
It never happened the entire day.
Very nice. You were distracted. Okay. Tanvi, are you able to did you leave a chat? Let me just see. Okay. So this is the Omkara Dhyana, which you can practice offline. The process is you chant U, observe the silence. The Om, the point of chanting the name is to go to the nameless. All the forms are pointing to the formless. All the names are pointing to the nameless. Okay, and the nameless is the silence. So the Om should lead you to the silent Om, which is your true nature. So before you were named, whatever you're named, Mohan, Pradeep, Tanvi, what was your name? Your name was given by your parents or somebody, the family relatives. What was your name before somebody named you?
There was no name.
There was
Whatever we used to hear, we used to respond to that. Anything, I think.
the name is for society, for interaction in the society, for your passport and PAN card and all that, Aadhaar card, green card. Okay, but you had a name before, and this was that came from the human mind. Somebody gave you a name, like how they gave you a name. They gave God also many names. Okay, so one God has so many billion names, but the name I told you of Bhagwan is Om. Om is also your name. Your real name is Om. And that is why there is non-duality between you and Bhagwan. There is no separation that can be made between you and Bhagwan. You can't say, it's like it's like putting four walls and telling, this is my space, that is somebody else's space. From the space perspective, does it make any difference?
Mhm.
See, we have maps, no? You have map of India, map of Ireland, map of UK, map of America. That is from a political standpoint. From the perspective of the earth, does any of the map matter? So from the perspective of reality, there is no map or boundary or separation between you and the infinity. Whatever is experienced as separation is only conceptual. It's a programming which is false. And the whole idea of this dialogue or this session or Atma Gnana is to realize your true nature of infinity and become free from all those maps. Okay? Maps are only in paper. When you actually go there, there is no, you don't see that outline. You only see it in the paper. In the same way, all the separation that you say, that I am only this much, is only in your thought. In reality, there is no separation. It's like saying the wave is separate from the ocean. Is the wave separate from the ocean? The wave is the movement of the ocean. You are a moment, one expression of Bhagavan. And you can understand this by your dream. In your dream, you see many people. You feel all of them are separate from you. But everybody is you. There is nobody apart from you. In the same way, in the waking, there is nobody apart from Bhagavan. All the separation that you experience is only conceptual. So Atma Gnana is the process of removing that concept. It's called the direct path, wherein you directly hit the root. What you experience, that's why in the previous session, you all thought that you were in the body. Then you saw that video. You saw the video in the last session, right? The holographic universe. Then you realize the entire world is inside the chip, like a chip in my head. All along, I thought the world is outside. Now the world is here. You think you're inside the body, but the body is inside actually you. That's why there's a beautiful enlightened poetry in Kannada. How many of you can understand Kannada? Okay, so the poetry is Ni mayayodego, ninnodu mayayo. Ni dehadologo, deha ninnologo. So for those people who don't understand, the poet is saying, Ni maya. Am I in the maya or the maya is inside me? Am I in the body or the body is inside me? This is the shift. You understand? The world that you think that is outside is only a perception. It is false. You think you're a separate being. I am separate, and there's somebody other. There is no other. And this is very clear because of the coronavirus. Coronavirus is the greatest thing that can happen to mankind. It's a blessing. You know what is the biggest lesson of coronavirus? It has taught that everything is connected. A bat in China can cause toilet paper shortage in America. Correct? Everything in the universe is connected. There's no, you're not separate from the existence. You understand? So everybody understands that God is everywhere. God is everywhere, theek hai. But is he there in you? How can God, who is everywhere, not be in you? That means you are powerful than God. That means you have the power to exclude God from your body. Okay? So, the process of spirituality, Adhyatma, Atma Gnana, is to realize this truth that God is the one who is operating through me, who is speaking through me, who is seeing through me. And whatever is seen also, the same Bhagavan in a different form. The seer is also Bhagavan, the seen is also Bhagavan. The separation or any other idea is only madness. So there's a nice story of, I think somebody went. of Jawaharlal Nehru. So Nehruji went to a mental asylum to just check. It was recently built by his government and he wanted to explore it. He goes in there and he sees a very elderly gentleman sitting under a tree. It's a beautiful place. He goes, sits next to him on the bench, and the elderly gentleman asks him, "Who are you?" Nehruji says, "I am Jawaharlal Nehru. I am the Prime Minister of the country." The old man says, "Yes, we all think like that. You please stay here for 2 months, they'll fix you. When I came here, I was thinking I am Mahatma Gandhi. They gave me shock treatment and fixed me." You understand? So you put a person into mental asylum when they start thinking that there's somebody else. Like if you start telling you're the Prime Minister, they'll put you in the asylum. Okay, if you start telling I am Donald Trump or something, they'll put you in the asylum. Correct? The same way, if you start telling I am the body, mind, intellect, you live in an asylum, you live in a prison. If that becomes a little more, you go into actual asylum. But the outside world is also like asylum. If you start putting everybody into the asylum will start overflowing. You understand? What you live right now is in an asylum-like condition where people think they're something else. People think they're the body. People think they're the gender. People think they're the mind, which is all like people thinking they're Jawaharlal Nehru. Did you get the comparison? So what do you think you are? Now, whatever you think you are is a given knowledge, second-hand knowledge. Somebody gave you that knowledge. And all second-hand knowledge is false. The real what you are is this divinity, is pure consciousness, is Bhagwan himself operating through human form. When you realize this, you become free from all identities and you become free from all false conceptions. It's like coming out of the mental asylum. Then you will be able to see other mad people. Right now, you're also mad that I am the body, so you're not able to see mad people. Like in the mental asylum, there are no mad people. Everybody, all the mad people, they think they're fine. You understand? Only from the perspective of the outside person, you are mad. In the same way, from the perspective of the enlightened, you are mad. You are mad to think you are the body. You are mad to think you are the mind. You're mad to think you are the identities that you have. Clear so far? Meenakshi, I'm not able to see. Is she here? Are you here? Any doubts? Can we go to the next phase?
Krishna, I have one question.
Yeah.
Because these are the questions that I generally get it from my friends and people who I discuss.
Okay.
So when we say the divinity is present all over the people, but why the people are doing some wrong stuff, even though Bhagwan is there within them? So that is what they ask as a question, many times. I don't find any answer for that.
So the question is, if divinity is present in all, why do some people do wrong? Okay, why do some people, somebody does murder, somebody creates war, somebody harms another human being, somebody harms animals? If we are so divine, why is all this happening? So the 2 marks answer, so there's a 2 marks answer, 5 mark answer, 10 mark answer and 100 mark answer. Which answer do you want?
10 marks.
10 marks answer. Okay.
Yeah.
See, so the divinity is like, it's like sunlight. Okay, let's compare divinity to sunlight. Sunlight, pure sunlight. Now the sunlight starts getting reflected. Okay, it falls on the stone, it doesn't reflect much. You can't see the reflection of the sun in the stone. There is some light that hits back, but that's very minimal. Correct? Then the sun hits on let's say a pond or a river or a water body. You keep a bucket. You can see the sunlight better. Clear object. The reflection is more. You can see the sun. Some it like waving and it's wavery and but it's still better than the stone, right? Then you hold a mirror, but the mirror it has dust on it. You can see the reflection, but it's not a complete reflection. Then you wipe the mirror. It's a clear, clean mirror. The reflection is 100%. Whatever is the sun is the exact reflection, correct? So there's stone, water, dirty mirror, clean mirror. In the same way, these are the 4 types of human minds. Human mind is a reflecting surface. The consciousness reflects in the mind. So in the mind of stone, reflection is very less of divinity. Stone mind means people who are so identified with the body. I am the body. So what happens when I am the body? I want to protect the body and I want things for myself. And that desire becomes greed, passion, hate, and gives rise to emotion and crime and eventually destruction. Not because the sun is not there. The sun is there, consciousness is there in them, but their mind is so filled with concepts that I am the body. The stronger the notion that I am the body, the greater the crime. Okay? I am the body. And I am the special kind of body. So Hitler created a massacre, genocide, because I am body and my body is from the lineage of Aryans, the most superior race. Okay? And whoever is not from this race, kill them. You understand? That strong identification that I am this body brings in all the other second layer of identity. The I am the superior race is secondary. I am the body is primary. Okay, that brings destruction. If I am the body, the other body is not me. So I can kill the other body. For example, you will not hit your hand because you know it hurts. You're connected. But let's say the moment you don't feel the pain, you will abuse the hand. Right? That's what we do with others. The people we live with, we do not experience their emotion and pain. So you start unconsciously causing pain to them. This is because you're so identified with the body. The moment you identify, you shift your awareness to something else, then you will be more compassionate. You understand? So you will kill the animal because you think the animal is, it's not me. Okay? But the animal, you understand that it also feels the exact pain like you, has a family like you, has emotions like you. The compassion is natural then. Okay? So stone, that is the stone. Then there is water. So somebody who has purified their mind, maybe done meditation or has simply been brought up in a more compassionate environment, empathetic environment, they reflect consciousness more. Okay? What happens in such people is the qualities of consciousness starts coming out. For example, Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi is a very small body. Imagine if he was identified with a small body. Do you think he would be able to lead the freedom movement? If he was identified with the body, he would say, I'm such a weak, small person. How can I bring freedom to this big country? How can I fight against Britishers? If they hit me with one stick, I'll be dead. So he's shifted from body consciousness. Mind has become more clear. Now he's lost his I am the body. Now he's identified with I am the country. And as a country, he's able to awaken the country. because I am the country. That's why people responded to him. Without Facebook, social media, without fast communication system, he was able to awaken the entire country to come together at a single point, to do a march at a single point. Can you imagine? That is the power of a clear mind when the body consciousness is lost. Little body consciousness. Now more body consciousness is lost. Now this person is called a saint. Okay, saint is like a mirror, or the Sadguru, the enlightened one. Krishna is the mirror. Krishna's mind is like a mirror. It reflects consciousness fully. Full reflection, full divinity. In every aspect of life, there is divinity. Every relationship is divine relationship. In Krishna's life, in Buddha's life, in the enlightened life, you can see the divinity in all aspects. But whereas in the water reflection, you can only see the divinity in one aspect. For example, a scientist like Einstein, let's say. Einstein is like a more clearer mind. He is able to tap into the divine intelligence. Or maybe Ramanujan. Have you heard of the mathematician called Ramanujan?
Yeah.
So Ramanujan used to get the vision of the equations without learning them. He knew them. And even till today, the brightest of the brightest minds are not able to decipher them. Okay, that is called divine intelligence. But that you will not see in all aspects of his life. It's only one amsha. But in the mirror consciousness, like a Sadguru or a Buddha or enlightened, it is full. That light is there in everything, every aspect of the life. Does this answer the question? Why divinity is not reflected in everybody?
Yeah, it answered some part, but I have other part.
Okay, tell me about the other part.
Other part is when we come to basic, everything is made up of God. So why it is structure somebody to do something harm?
Okay.
Why it is designed like that? That
Okay.
it shouldn't be like.
Okay, I'll answer that. So the question is, if there is everything is divine, why is something harming something? So when you have a body, right, and when you get a disease in the body, so there's a cut or a disease or some infection, the body has a healing mechanism, correct? The body starts attacking the body. Some cells starts killing some part of the cells which are harming the body. You understand? So this whole concept of good and bad is from the perspective of society. Society has defined this is all good, this is all bad. From the perspective of consciousness, nothing is bad. Tsunami is not bad. Death is not bad. Disease is not bad. It is the way of the world. It is the way that the world operates and corrects itself. Corona is not bad. Because of the disease corona, so much correction has happened at a geological scale. Okay, so there are so many. You see, the posts about animals coming out, the air quality getting better. So it's a corrective mechanism, including the human being. The human being. You see, the major question comes with why human beings are acting monstrous. The human beings are the mind is of different types. Okay, the mind, three types. What Krishna says is of three types: Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. The example given is the Rakshasa brothers. The three Rakshasa brothers: Ravana, Vibhishana, Kumbhakarna. Vibhishana is Sattvic. He is gentle. He is born in a Rakshasa in a disturbing environment, but he's more tuned to divine. There is Ravana, who is Rajasic. Okay, he will kidnap Sita. He's more destructive. Then there's Kumbhakarna, who is lazy. So the three types of mind: Sattvic mind, Rajasic mind, Tamasic mind. So, and why this is there is also part of nature. In nature, everything is combination of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. For example, your own body, Tamas is sleep. So you, at the end of the day, you become Tamasic, sleep. If you don't become Tamasic, you cannot operate the next day. You'll be exhausted. You need rest, recovery. And during the day, you need to be Rajasic. You need movement. If you don't move, the body gets diseases. So you've heard of this sedentary lifestyle, no? Have you heard of sedentary lifestyle? Sedentary lifestyle is not moving too much. Rajas has become less, which is bad, which is because the body gets disease. The body is designed to move and work. If you don't move and work, the body starts accumulating. It accumulates fat, it accumulates diseases. Then there is Sattvic. Sattvic is peace, the gentleness. So all these, nature is a combination of all these things, and it operates in that way. If it's an order, it is what is called as the universal principle.
Got it now.
So why does somebody behave the way they behave?
Because of the combination of these different type of sattvas in them.
The combination of gunas.
So, yes.
Okay. So that actually brings us to the topic of karma. Okay. So shall I take up the topic of karma now? Meenakshi, you had some questions?
No.
No questions. Okay. So there are.
So generally, questions were answered when you're saying so. That's what.
Okay. So this.
You'll have some questions, but it will be answered in your.
Okay. So the topic of karma is an extension of what I just said to give more clarity. It's the 100-mark answer. So there are 4 types of karma. Karma means action and the result of that action. Okay? Karma means action and the result of that action. Cause, effect. Okay? So there are 4 types of karmas. You can repeat after me. Sanchita karma.
Sanchita karma.
Prarabdha karma.
Prarabdha karma.
Kriyamana karma.
Kriyamana karma.
Aagami karma.
Aagami karma.
4. So what these 4 are, we'll understand. So Sanchita means it is the bank balance of all the actions that you did in all your lifetimes. So let's say you have 1 crore in your bank balance. 1 crore is the savings of all the activities, good and bad, that you did in all lifetimes. So Buddha told, after he got enlightened, somebody asked him about karma. He told that I have had so many lifetimes that if you take my spinal cord from each lifetime and stack it up, it will be bigger than the mountain Himalayas. If you catch the tears that I've cried in all lives, it will amount to more than the flow of the Ganga river. And that is the case of Buddha. Now imagine how many lifetimes you would have had. See, what you are right now is your current lifetime. And this whole understanding of lifetime is no longer religious. It is research based. So in Bangalore itself, there is a hospital called NIMHANS, where there are doctors who have done research on past lives of patients through various strategies, medical strategies. So our life is very long. This is only one chapter. Now the actions that we did of all these chapters is called as Sanchita. It's called bank balance, 1 crore. Okay, so every time you take a life, you do something, add to the bank balance. The bank balance is infinite. We don't know how big that is. That is called Sanchita karma. Sanchita is clear?
Yeah.
Now from Sanchita, you withdraw 1 lakh. From 1 crore, you withdraw 1 lakh. And that 1 lakh creates this life. It's called Prarabdha karma. Withdrawal of 1 lakh. With that 1 lakh, that 1 lakh has where you'll be born, how you will be born, who is going to be your parents, who is going to be your children, when you will get job, when you will go out of job, when you will have money, when you will get disease. Everything is in that 1 lakh. When you will die, when you will get enlightened. Everything is that Prarabdha karma. So whatever is happening to you right now is because of what you did. That is why you see somebody being born in like a wealthy family, somebody is being born some other part of the world, somebody is white, somebody is black, somebody is yellow, somebody is, speaks this language, there are some children who are at the age of 3, they start playing piano, flute or some musical instruments. Okay, and somebody who's either 30 also can't do that with a lifetime of study. All that is because of the past momentum. Just look at the people in your own family. If they were born a few meters in a different place, their life journey would have been something else. You understand? So in the Bombay, there's a popular picture, you know Mumbai, right? In Mumbai, there's a popular picture of the yin and yang, the slum on this side and the posh society on this side. Okay? If one child from this side is just born a little bit that side, their entire life journey is different. You understand? Why should be somebody born in a certain place to have a certain journey? Why are you so privileged? It's because of the baggage. Okay, why do some people get to hear the spirituality, some people don't? Why do some people get some diseases, some don't? Why are some gifted, some are not? All because of the withdrawal that they have made. That 1 lakh. Is that clear? And all these withdrawals and deposits are unconscious. They're unconscious actions. Whatever you think, it's called Kaya, Vacha, Manasa, Buddhya. Kaya means through body, Vacha means through speech, Manasa means through mind, Buddhya means through intellect. 4 actions that you do get deposited in Sanchita karma. Okay, don't think only the thing that I do with my body. Even the thing that you think, you might not kill somebody, but you have a thought of doing that, gets added to Sanchita karma. And that is what you will withdraw from the, it's called Prarabdha. So your current life is what you created. So somebody comes and shouts at you tomorrow. It's like you wrote yourself a letter on this day, on May 11th at 10 a.m. Come and give me this letter. And the postman comes and gives you the letter. Do you shout at the postman? So everything that happens in your life, every person that says something to your life, it's a letter that you have written to yourself. It is your own creation. Every experience that you have in life is your own creation. We are happy being victims. Oh my God, God put us in this situation. God never put anybody in any situation. Whatever situation anybody is their own creation. Is their own prarabdha, their own creation. And the beauty of that is, if you can create that, you can also create the opposite. But if you keep waiting for God to change it, it's not going to happen. Because God is a non-doer. God is like the sun. Sun never does anything. But because of sun, somebody builds a house, somebody kills a person. Because of sun, the rose there's a mango tree, there's a beautiful flower, there are also thorns. You can't tell sun is the one who is causing the thorns. Sun is illuminating. In that illumination, so many things happen based on their nature. Some fruit is sour, some fruit is sweet. Sun can't be blamed. The seed is to be blamed. You understand? So Bhagavan is like the sun. He illuminates. Whatever is in your prarabdha fructifies. Is this part clear?
Yes.
That is prarabdha karma. So you will withdraw 1 lakh. You will sit. Will you sit silently after withdrawing? You will do business again every day. From the day you are born, you will start to multiply that 1 lakh. 1 lakh. How? Kaya, vacha, manasa, buddhya. You will again multiply. 1 lakh in 1 day becomes 1 crore. Okay, that is called Kriyamana karma. What you do now. And now by the end of your lifetime, you bought 1 lakh, but now you have 1 billion lakh. You will add that to Sanchita. That's called Aagami. And what happens again? Again you withdraw from the Sanchita. Again this whole process starts. And that Sanchita keeps on growing. We don't know how big that is. This is what is called as a cycle of karma. Cycle of life, birth, growth, middle age and death. Again, birth, the same thing goes on.
But when this circle will end?
But is this part clear?
Yeah.
The cycle ends. Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, Gnanagni Dagda Karmani. Gnanagni Dagda Karmani. The fire of wisdom, Atma Gnana, alone burns Dagda Karmani, burns all the karma. It just burns to ashes. Why it burns? Because all the karma I told you are unconscious actions. It is because karma is there because you think you're doing it. Okay? So even the murderer, if he kills somebody, he might escape from the law, but he can never escape his own conscience. He knows he has done it. That comes back to him because he feels he's a doer. Whereas Krishna kills somebody, Krishna also killed people. But when Krishna kills somebody, there is no sense of doership. Okay, it's like a doctor. So it's like this, no? In the TV, you see a frame. In the frame, you see somebody stabbing somebody. Is it good or bad?
Don't know.
It depends on the perspective, context.
Yeah.
If you zoom out and see it's the doctor cuts to help. The murderer cuts to kill. The action is the same, but the intention is different. And the intention brings doership and karma, not the action itself. Because action you might do or not do. For example, when you're in anger, provided the other person is your inferior, you will act. Like if it's somebody inferior to you, you will shout at them. If it's superior to you, you will not do that. But the karma is still there because you felt the rage. You felt that you have the intention of harming the person, but because of the conditioning, you can't do it. But you will experience the rage and the suffering that it brings. And you will probably burst somewhere else. Okay? So you see anybody who's angry, please understand, anybody who's angry and is taking out of you are not the cause. You might seem like the cause. They are just venting some other frustration on you. You understand? Like in your case, when one of the parent is angry, and they can't take it out on the spouse for some reason, they'll go and take it out on the children. Okay? Now the child, you can think, oh my God, my parent doesn't love me. It's not true. Some other cause is creating some effect. Karma is like that. Karma is not action, it is intention. If you have the intention, it comes back to you. It comes back to you because you are holding on to that. The moment you drop it, it doesn't come to you. You've become free from karma. And becoming free from karma is called mukti. Mukti means becoming free from karma, becoming free from Sanchita karma. So what happens in mukti is the Sanchita karma gets burnt out, completely burns. Like your bank account, you write it off to somebody else. It's done. But the Prarabdha, you've already bought it. See, Sanchita is like the example given is in the war, the ancient soldier has arrows. There's so many arrows behind. No? That is all Sanchita karma. Now he's taken one of the arrow and he's keeping it. Okay, that is called Kriyamana. He's not yet shot it. But if he shoots the arrow, it is Prarabdha. It can't be stopped. So that's why you see some enlightened beings, they go through some diseases or some bad situations in life. In Krishna's life, in Krishna's Prarabdha, it was there that he's born in jail. Just because he's enlightened, the Prarabdha doesn't change. Just because he's enlightened, somebody will not come and attack him. No. The attacking will happen. The disease will come. But he, as an individual, will not experience the suffering of it. Like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is enlightened. In his Prarabdha, he has cancer. The cancer comes to him, but he doesn't suffer because of the cancer. The effect of the karma is not there. And the effect is always internal. The external is just superficial. The internal is what you experience as karma. For example, you can live in a AC room, in a posh place, but internally, if you're disturbed, you're experiencing bad karma. You understand? So there is popular musicians, who recently committed suicide. And musicians are very glorious. There's thousands of fans, thousands of people worshipping them. You just want to get a glimpse of them. But this person takes his own life. When the whole world is desiring to be in that place, somebody in that place is ending that life. That is called karma. You understand? So, to tell you a story, after the Mahabharata war, all the sons of Dhritarashtra were killed. All the 100 children were killed. So, who is the father of Kauravas? Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra goes to Krishna and tells Krishna, Krishna, why did such a bad karma happen to me? I have never done anything bad in my life. Why did you kill all my 100 sons? Krishna tells him, Dhritarashtra, 50 lifetimes ago, you were a hunter. And there was a beautiful tree on which there were 2 birds, and they had many children. For fun, for pleasure, you put fire to that tree, you laughed and danced around the burning tree, which killed all the children of those birds and made the birds blind. That's why this karma is happening to you. Dhritarashtra says that was 50 lifetimes ago. Why should this happen to me? Krishna answers, to get 100 children, you have to do good karma. It took you 50 lifetimes to earn the good karma to get 100 children. And the moment you got 100 children in this lifetime as a result of your good karma, that bad karma got activated and nullified it. You understood? So this is Sanchita, Prarabdha, Kriyamana, Aagami, and Atma Gnana, so that you become free from this karma. See, just look at your life right now. You are in some stage of life. So there was birth, then some childhood. You finished childhood. You finished teenage. You had some experiences there. and then you finished, now you're in adulthood. Next, you'll get midlife crisis. Then you'll get retirement. Then old age. Okay. Then death. Then same thing starts all over again. If you have not realized who you are, the realization of who you are brings an end to desire. Okay, and brings an end to the sense of doership, and brings an end to karma. How all this actually happens, we will explore as and when we go. This is the first level of exposure. Any doubts so far?
No.
Pratik?
No, just one thing from me. So you discussed about the past life things which we did and all those things. So is there? It's a very hypothetical kind. So is there any way we can know about what we did in past lives? Means what was our bank balance, as you said, in the past life and all those things?
So it's like digging into your dustbin and seeing what all you have thrown. See, there's some smell coming, okay, in the house. There's some smell coming in the house. You're saying,
Yeah.
can I go and look at the dustbin and see what all is there in the dustbin? Will you do that, or will you just throw the dustbin, throw the garbage?
Throw the garbage.
What could you have possibly done in any life? Take hypothetically any life. Let's say in the last lifetime you were some king. Okay? How different would your life would have been? Same thing. Childhood, teenage, adulthood, midlife crisis, disease, old age, death. Is there any difference in any of the lives that you could have had? The only different that could have been is Atma Gnana, enlightenment. If that had happened, you would not have got this lifetime. So you can take it for granted that nothing worthwhile happened. Why do you want to know what happened in the last lifetime?
No, just like you said about Dhritarashtra that he did something 50 years back,
Right.
50 lifetimes back, and he was suffered because of that thing which he did.
Correct.
So,
No, so
so
even if you know it, you can't change it. So first I'll tell you in two ways. Answer to your question is yes, you can know. Answer to your question is, can I know my past lives? Yes, you can. It's the process, the dhyana, the practice is already part of this session. Unfortunately, we can't do it because we're doing it remotely. It's only done in real. It is a process called as, it's a process that has been passed on. It's very known and by the spiritual fraternity here. It was popularized by Buddha himself, where through the technique of a certain breathing technique, you can open up the memories of the past. Okay, which I have myself have seen happening to close people around me because of the practice. Buddha himself saw 500 lifetimes during this practice. Okay, so various enlightened masters talk about what happened in their previous life and all that. So it happens as a byproduct of sadhana, as a byproduct of the path of enlightenment. But it's not required. It's just a bonus point. The question, is it possible? It is possible. How it is possible? There is a technique. What is the technique? Can't be told remotely, can't be practiced remotely. It's a breathing technique. It's just a breathing technique. It's all related to the breath. There's a certain way you breathe for a certain time, which penetrates to the unconscious mind. So the mind is conscious and subconscious and unconscious. Okay, what you are right now is conscious mind. But conscious mind is only 5%. The unconscious and subconscious you don't tap into. For example, from the conscious mind, you say, you pray, I want this to happen. But from the unconscious mind, there's another prayer going, contrary to the conscious prayer, telling, oh, I don't deserve it. That's why most of the time what you pray doesn't happen. Okay? But if the prayer comes from a deep subconscious level, the moment you pray, it happens. Okay? The moment you don't even pray, the moment you will, it manifests. To give you an example, real life example, there is you can Google this person, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Dr. Joe Dispenza is a doctor. I think he's a neurologist, brain doctor or something. He recently had an accident where he's a cycler, bicycle. He was thrown off the bicycle and he shattered his spine completely. And the doctor said, in your entire life, you can forget about walking, standing up. And they put him in one metal or some device which he has to be in. He said, I'm not going to live like this. And he, with the power of his mind, with visualization, restructured his spine by will. Okay? And became fine. In a couple of months, he was able to walk, run, everything. And now he gives talks about this. Dr. Joe Dispenza. So the subconscious mind is extremely powerful. This is seen also in patients of multiple personality. Have you heard of this thing called multiple personality syndrome? So in multiple personality syndrome, the person thinks he's somebody else to such an extent that the color of their retina changes. They're able to change. If they have ordinarily brown eyes, they can make it green eyes. That is the ability of the mind. Okay, but that you cannot do consciously. It has to be a deep rooted belief. That is not generally accessible in a superficial life. But through certain practices, you can penetrate that. That is what is called meditation. Meditation is the process of penetrating to the subconscious and the unconscious and tampering it. To tamper it is called yoga. Have you heard this word called yoga? So yoga is a process of, it is a path for enlightenment. But in the path of yoga, the yogi is penetrating to the subconscious mind and changing. That's why the yogis have many supernatural powers. You read this book, Autobiography of a Yogi, filled with people who have supernatural powers. It's not supernatural. It's very ordinary for everybody, but you're not able to tap into it. That's all. It's as good as saying, like a billionaire, Mark Zuckerberg. What he's done is miracle. Can you imagine having so much money and power? From your perspective, it's a miracle. But from his perspective, he has penetrated some subconscious aspect. Okay? And that can happen. Can it happen? Yes. Is it necessary for enlightenment? No. Is it necessary for dhyana? Absolutely not. Is it necessary for Atma-gnana? Absolutely not. Because the idea in Atma-gnana is to discard the garbage. It is garbage. Just burn it altogether. Why dig into it and see everything? Okay, just get rid of it. Burn it. And also what happens in nature is, nature doesn't allow information to come out if it hampers your transformation. You understand? See, for example, in this lifetime only, you carry so many guilt, so much hate, so much memories, hurt. People carry usually, no? That, this person told this to me, this happened to me. They're already fed up with this. Now imagine, this person told me this in last lifetime. This person did this to me in that lifetime. It's too much of a burden to handle. And you don't want that burden. You don't know what you're asking actually. It's a curse. You don't want that knowledge. It does no good. I will tell you right now what you did in all lifetimes. In all of lifetimes, you were born, you experienced childhood, some experience good and bad. You experienced teenage, some hormonal changes. Then you experience adulthood. Then you experience midlife. Then you experience old age and died. In some lives, you didn't experience this. The story got cut somewhere in between. This is your history. And in no life, you got Atma-gnana. But, in some lives, you have done extreme good merit. You have worked selflessly. You have done service. You have done meditation. You have done sadhana. That's why in this lifetime, you're propelled. Your learning is not from scratch. Please understand what I'm saying right now, what I'm teaching you. In any spiritual organization, you will take years to learn. Okay? To come to the sudden understanding that the world is inside me, Bhagwan is everywhere, is of the highest realization. Okay? Nowhere else you will get such clarity or understanding. You will be lost in the forest of spirituality. So your learning is cut short, not because of me, because of your own karma. I'm just the postman, coming and giving you your own letter of Atma-gnana. You understand? So this is your history. This is your Prarabdha.
And you said about Dr. Joe, right? There is one Hollywood movie called Doctor Strange on the same
Doctor Strange.
story.
Doctor Strange is fictional. Dr. Joe Dispenza is real.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's alive. Dr. Joe Dispenza is among us right now. He's just a few 40 years old or something. And that is a popular example. In India, we have so many saints. In India, every other road will have Dr. Joe Dispenza.
And because we talked on this Punarjanma or past life.
Yeah.
So there was a program in Kannada called Punarjanma, whether it is correctly done or it is kind of a fake. I don't understand, because in that program, some Guruji is to take some like object or some subject, and he used to tap into their mind, and he was saying he was a snake last.
No, so see, that is, I can't comment on what that is, because I personally don't, I've not watched it. But I'm saying it is possible, but it is not at all important. Even Buddha himself used to use the Jati, it's called Jati Prakarana. Okay, Jati Smara Prakarana on various of his disciples. So, to give you an example, there was one, Buddha was a prince. He renounced and he became a monk. So, looking at him, a lot of kings in his time renounced their kingdom and became student, bhikshus. One of the bhikshus was one recently joined, was a king from a nearby place. What happened was, he was given the task of cleaning the corridor every day in the ashram. And every day he was frustrated. I'm a king, I was happily sitting in the palace, now I'm cleaning a corridor here, what am I doing? And he was contemplating running away. One day he finally decided, I'm going to run away and go back to my old life. When he's trying to run away in the night, Buddha comes to him. He encounters Buddha. At that time Buddha tells him, why are you doing this again? The king says, again, this is the first time I'm trying to run away. Buddha tells him, you have already done this 6 times. You met me 6 lifetimes. In 6 different lifetimes, I came to you as different masters. In every lifetime, you ran away and missed enlightenment. Why do you want to run away this lifetime also? At that time, he made him do the prakriya and made him see how he escaped enlightenment foolishly. So it is used as a tool by the master where it is required. Where it is not required, if you use it, you will damage the system. Like when the oil is less in the car, you put oil. If there is already oil in the car, you put more oil. It's not required, it's unnecessary. Understand? So Prateek and Pradeep, are both of your questions answered?
Yeah, thanks, Krishna.
Yes.
Okay, so it's our time 5 o'clock. I think we have completed 2 hours. Do you want to stop the session or do you want to continue? Any questions? Do you want to do meditation? What do you want?
I have one question, Krishna.
Yes, ma'am. Meenakshi.
Yeah. So,
One second.
in our
One second.
life,
Just hold that. Mohan, are you there? Mohan, Tanvi, are you there? Mohan, Vijayata, Tanvi. Okay, I guess not. You can continue.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, are you listening?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm also listening. Yes, Meenakshi.
yeah, till now in our journey, we have seen many chantings like that from many people. So what I heard is there are 7 lives for every human, and it starts from each and every stage, and the last they will be like a cow, and then in the last they will come as a human. So in most of these things, the human is the most good janma, they say. How true it is. I heard this a lot, many times. So even if we will be created as a creature, small creature, and we will end our life, and then we will be coming to the next stage based on our karma, whatever.
Right. So the question is, we become human beings after many different births of different species. And they also say the human birth is very auspicious and great. Is this all true? Is that the question?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So the saying here is, Bare bhagya manushutana pava, suradhurlabha sabgrantana gava. Meaning all the scriptures sing the praise. Suradhurlabha sabgrantana gava. They all sing the praise of Manushya birth, the birth as a human being. So the birth of a human being is auspicious, first because of the biology. The spine is erect. Okay? In no other animal is the spine erect. And the evolution of the spine, I told you, the 3 phases of the spine: reptilian brain, mammal brain, and higher intelligence. Only in the human life can you correct the misconception. Everybody else is living unconsciously. The tiger is living unconsciously. The tiger has no room to be a cow. Tiger cannot become vegan. Tiger cannot become vegetarian. No other animal can become something it is not programmed. Okay? They will always work within the framework of the programming. It is impossible for them to come out of the program, simply because they cannot become aware of it. Only in human birth can you be made to be aware that you are like this, you can be like this. Only in a human being is that shift from human to divine possible, is a shift from intelligent to intuition possible, is a shift from freedom from karma possible. The tiger cannot be free from karma. Okay, no animal can be free from karma because it's unconscious life. But in the human birth, because of teaching Atma Gnana, you become free. That is why in India they say to be born as a human is the greatest blessing. First level. That doesn't end there. Second, you're born as a human, fine. But to be born in India is the second greatest blessing. It's called Punya Bhumi, Gnana Bhumi, where everywhere there is, to encounter enlightenment and mukti is very easy in India. In anywhere else in the world, to encounter I am body is very easy. In India, even a child will speak about Atma and Paramatma, about Rama and Krishna, about Shiva, about Dhyana, about Yoga. Okay? Somewhere else in the world, it's a privilege. Everybody will speak about sex and fame and money and drugs. Do you understand the shift in consciousness? To be born in a place where collectively people are focused on the divine, that is Bharata, that is India. To be born in India is a privilege. Then they say, okay, you're born as a human, you're born in India. To be born in a family where you can hear the chanting of God's name, or to be born in a pure family, what the ancestors say is to be born as a Brahmin. Brahmin means simply from the young age you start listening to Vishnu Sahasranama, Vedas, Atmagnana and all that. It's a structure. It's a social structure. To be born as a Kshatriya also is a privilege because the Kshatriyas also are listening to the Atmagnana. To be born as a Vaishya or to be born in any of these structures in a pious place is the next great blessing. Born as a human in India in a pious family. Fourth thing, all these three categories, three levels are satisfied. To get a guru is the fourth blessing. I'm born as human, I'm born in Bharata, I'm born in a pious family, and I have a guru is the great blessing. And the last is, I'm born as a human, I'm born in a great place, born in a great family. I have a guru or may not have a guru, but I have a Sadguru, an enlightened master. That's the end. That is the dead end of your journey as a human being. Meeting the enlightened master, the Sadguru, is a dead end of your human journey. So, and this can only happen in the human birth. Because you can only receive the teaching in a human birth. You need a human system to understand and realize. The realization can happen only in the human body. In a human body, you can experience God in your own body. Okay, that is the speciality of human body. Now talking about the species, the different births. It is true that it's very, in science itself has talks about evolution. It talks about the evolution of the body, right? That man came from monkey. The body of man came from monkey. But where did the mind come from? The mind evolved from cow. The body of the man evolved from monkey. The consciousness, the mind of the man evolved from the cow. So the cow, the other animals are all far away from human beings. The cow in the earlier days was the one that was closer to the human being. So when the cow died, what is the last thought of the cow? Human. When the tiger kills the deer, what is the last thought of the tiger? Sorry, the deer?
I,
Tiger. What is the last thought of the tiger when it dies? deer, food. So the next lifetime, the tiger becomes a deer, the deer becomes a tiger. So Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, in one of the chapters, I forgot which chapter, Antakalecha Smaranam. He says, what you think at the last in your life is what will create a next life. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean a human will only be born as a human in the next lifetime. Human can be born as anything in the next lifetime. See, as a human being, I told you, you can live in an animal plane, human plane, or a divine plane. Somebody is constantly thinking about food in a human life. In the next lifetime, they will take a birth which will satisfy their desire more. Not necessarily as human. Somebody has only thinking about some other pleasure, maybe sex, all their lifetime. In the next lifetime, they will take up a vehicle that will enable them to fulfill their desire. You understand? So the famous story is the story of Bharata. So there is India is called as Bharat. You know where the name Bharat comes from?
Yeah, Bharatavarsha. So
Bharat Chakravarti. There was a king called the ruler. Bharat Chakravarti.
The ruler. Yeah.
His kingdom. So he was a Chakravarti. His kingdom was very big. India at that time was much 3-4 times bigger than what we know today. And that was called Bharata Rajya, Bharata Chakravarti. That's why it's called Bharat. Bharata Chakravarti, at a very young age, mid-age, he renounced his kingdom because he wants to get enlightened. And he goes to the forest searching for enlightenment. And he's very pious. He does meditation every day. One day, there's a deer in the forest which is pregnant. And the deer dies, giving birth to the child. He starts taking care of the baby deer. Now he becomes old, and instead of thinking about God, he starts thinking about deer. The attachment to the deer has overthrown his seeking for enlightenment. So the next lifetime, he's born as a deer. The great Bharata Chakravarti, who's done sadhana, one slip at the last point in his life. His last thought is, who will take care of my deer? And it's not just an arbitrary thought, it's a deep attachment thought. And he becomes a deer in the next lifetime. But because of his sadhana, he recollects his last lifetime. And this lifetime is careful. As a deer, what he does is, he wanders around the ashrams of the rishis, every day listening to Atma. In the next lifetime, he is born as Jada Bharata. He is born enlightened. Okay? He is born as an Avatara Purusha. And he spends his life teaching as a Sadguru and disappears. So, the story from the Purana tells about, the story from Itihasa tells about the journey of man. Human can take any journey. You can go down animal level, you can be in a human level, or you can be divine. Choice is yours. You're in a, junction road now. See a board there. Go towards animal, towards human, towards divine. Whichever way you want, you can take. If you don't have a mentor, if you don't have a teacher, you will make the decision unconsciously. Okay? So there's a beautiful story called Alice in Wonderland. Have you heard Alice in Wonderland?
No.
There's a Alice in Wonderland. It's a book. So there's a girl called Alice. She falls down a rabbit hole. Into a magical land where she meets one very wise cat. Okay, the cat asks her. She asks the cat, "Where should I go?" The cat asks her question back, "Where do you want to go?" Alice says, "I don't know." The cat says, You don't know where you want to go. Anywhere will do. You don't know, right, where you want to go. Consciously, you don't know. So go anywhere. But going anywhere is unconscious life. Unconsciously, you take birth. Unconsciously, everybody is taking job. You also take job. Everybody is making money. You also make money. Everybody is building house. You also build house. Everybody is having children. You also have children. Everybody is eating this food. You also eat this food. Everybody is taking care of these children this way. You also. Everybody is watching this movie. You also watch this movie. You are in a you are in a matrix where you're following the herd. That's all. Food that you eat is unconscious. The way you eat the food also is unconscious. Watching TV or watching something. When was the last time you consciously ate food? Giving attention to the food that you're eating.
Morning, breakfast.
Breakfast. So when you speak unconsciously. When you hear selective hearing. The moment somebody starts speaking about you, your ears become big. The moment somebody's talking the topic that you like, your ears become big. Right? Everything is selective. The moment you start hearing something that affects your life, you are more involved. Otherwise, it doesn't affect us. Something is happening somewhere in the world, doesn't affect us. You understand? So it's an unconscious life. Atma Gnana is conscious life. Freedom from karma. It can only happen in the human birth. And if you have not done that, you have wasted the human birth. But it's okay. That's the beauty of Sanatana Dharma. It never forces anybody. It never says you have to, work on enlightenment. You have to not waste your life. It says waste. Buddha himself wasted 500 lifetimes. Enjoy. How many unconscious births you want to have? Have. You want to be a king? You be. You want to be a beggar? You be. You want to enjoy food? You enjoy. Whatever you want, you do. When you want enlightenment, you ask, you will get it. That's the beauty of life. The question is what you want. You are the creator. That's why I said, you are Brahma, meaning you are the creator. You are creating your life. You create whatever you want. You want to create unconsciously, you create. You want more lives, you take more lives. You want longer life, you take longer life. You want enlightenment, you take enlightenment. It's like a supermarket. Aisle 1, aisle 2, aisle 3, infinite aisles. Whatever you want, you can take. Any questions? Meenakshi, is your question answered?
Yes.
Krishna, when exactly, I've heard this before as well, we are the creator of our own destiny, and on the life. And so there's no God's interference, I think. There's nobody intervening in what we have created for ourselves, as you said, postman coming in. So, but what point do you think? I don't know whether it's relevant here, so it's not very, not for the topic, but I was just curious to ask that question, really.
Yeah.
If it's not something that's very relevant,
no, please ask.
So I just wanted to know whether when does this process of creating our own lives happen actually? At what point after you've left this body and then at some point you decide you want to be born as whatever else, to withdraw that the karma, and you said Prarabdha karma and all that. At what point does it happen?
Okay, so at what point does my conscious creation begin or no creation happen? So at what point do I have the veto power? Is that the question?
Yeah.
See, mukti is not after death. There's that question, the thing about mukti after death is false. That's why it said Jivan Mukti. The mukti has to be when you're alive. You can't say at the time of death, I'll decide not to create another life. Because you don't know how you'll die. You don't know which condition your body and mind will be. That is why you have to work on mukti when you're able. Not you can't postpone mukti to 60 years after retirement. That's what most people do. I will get into spirituality after I've done everything, which will not happen because the logic is what will come as the last thought in your mind will be the accumulation, will be the momentum of your life. You have lived an unconscious life. You cannot expect conscious decision at the last time. To tell you simply, this is a beautiful story. So somebody heard this. So in the Purana, there's a story of Ajameda. There's a guy called Ajameda who was a pious Brahmin, who was a Bhakta devotee. At some point in time, he strays away from his path. He starts meeting prostitutes and he gambles and becomes a drunkard and everything. And at the last, when he's about to die, suddenly he recollects Narayana and he calls Narayana. And the Yamadutas have come to take him. And because he said Narayana, he actually calls his son Narayana. His son's name is Narayana. He calls Narayana. But because he says Narayana at the time of his death, the Narayana Dutas come and save him. And they take him to Narayana Loka. Okay, this is the story of Puranas. So some very clever businessman heard the story. So he said, okay, Ajamela had a son called Narayana. I will also name my sons. I have 4 sons. I will name Krishna, Narayana, Shiva, and Vishnu. So that if I miss somebody, I call. Okay, and at the point of my death, then God will come and take me. So death has arrived. He calls Krishna, and the first son comes Krishna. So Narayana, second comes Narayana. He says Shiva, third comes Shiva. He says, what is that? Vishnu, fourth son comes Vishnu. Then he says, if all 4 of you are here, who is taking care of the store? And he scolds them. And then he dies. What do you think happens to him? What was his last thought?
Store.
Paisa.
Money.
So when Ajameda called Narayana, when he called his son Narayana, all his sadhana, all his punya, all his that momentum he's created because of doing puja every day, that came out, that force came out. What you live throughout your life is what comes during the time of death. So have you heard this in movies? They tell, no, my life flashed before me, or I died. So it's not only in the movies. There are people who have had near-death experience medically. It's called as in medically you're declared dead when your vitals stop operating. But in medical science, there are various cases when medically you're dead, but the patient comes back after some time. Okay, this is medical. There's so many cases medically where they're declared dead, but after some time they come back. So I know my own friends, relatives who had died medically and they're declared dead, but after a couple of hours they came back. So this is called, and the term that they use is near-death experience. So in near-death experience, the person is asked what happened, what was your experience. So they say the life flashed. I got a summary of my life. Now the summary of your life is what you have lived all your life. Your entire life you have spent thinking about money and food. How do you expect Bhagwan to come at the last time? Even if you think about Bhagwan, you will ask, I want money and food. The strongest impression is what determines your next lifetime. So you can look at your lifetime right now, your own current state. What is your strongest motivation in your life is where you are right now. Okay, in the position that you have, in the bank balance that you have, in the degree that you have, it's all what you strongly desired for. You understand? So it is very important to create that momentum from a young age. That's why in India, Atma Gnana was taught from very young age, in the Gurukul itself. They didn't postpone it after you become old. See, what happens is, it's a knowledge about yourself. The older you become, the more prejudiced you become. You start saying, I know life. I have lived 50 years. Who are you to teach me life? You made some set ideas about life. This is how life is because of your experiences. But you forget to acknowledge that you have given some meaning to some experiences. The experience itself, the two people can go through the same experience. One person can become a sinner, another person can become a saint. One can lose some family. There's some, let's say some war happened, and some person lost a family member. One person can become a saint because of their experience. Another person can hold grudge against humanity. That is the story of Buddha. Buddha saw only 3 incidents, first time in his life: death, disease, old age. And he renounced his kingdom and went in search for enlightenment. How many deaths, how many diseases, how many old people have you seen in your life?
Countless, I think.
And still, that awakening has not come. So that is what life does. So you cannot postpone conscious life to a later stage, because the brain starts deteriorating. Enlightenment is related to the brain. The brain needs to be young. See, the enlightenment taught it to a child. The child captures it very quickly. That's why we had in the story of Prahalada, no? Prahalada is a young age, he realizes Narayana. His father is 40 years old, doesn't realize Narayana. And the child has to come and teach him about Narayana. The Atma Gnana is given at a young age. That is the Gurukul system. Okay, and that is so simply because the momentum of your life creates the next life. So Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita that, let's say you've created a spiritual momentum and hypothetically you do not get enlightenment. Don't worry. In the next life, you will start from the point that you left. That's what all of you people are doing.
That's true.
Does that answer the question? Prasadji, did I cover?
Yeah.
So you cannot do Shastrabhyasa during Yuddha. Can you practice firing a gun in the middle of the war? Death is like war. You are bombarded with impressions. You have to practice. The practice has to be in life. Then when the war comes, when the death comes, you are able to fire. So that's why in boxing it is said, the match is not won in the ring. The match is won in the gym. Okay? The Jivan, you do not get the job in the interview. You get the job in your preparation, in your studies. At that moment only you've got your job. An interview is just namesake to get the offer letter. So during the interview you can't prepare, right? You can't, So you have to live a life like that. You can't fake it. Somebody says, I have a 20 years experience. 20 years experience brings some clarity in thought when he's speaking in the interview. If it is not there, you can't fool. You can't fool God. So at the time of death, not God, you can't fool yourself. At the time of death, you will create what you believe. If you do not believe in Atma Gnana, if you have not realized it when you're alive, you will come back again. So I was talking about Jivan Mukti. Enlightenment is Mukti when you're alive. When you become Jivan Mukta, death doesn't matter. How you die doesn't matter. You die in accident, you die in hospital, you die anywhere, you die conscious, unconscious, doesn't matter because you've already attained Jivan Mukti. You become enlightened. So many Muktas, when they become enlightened, that moment the body dies because they have no desire to see another day also. That level of purity has happened in the mind. No other desire. See, you wake up in the mind because the force of desire is there. Let's say the force of desire dies, you will not wake up tomorrow. Why should you wake up tomorrow? But in the case of other enlightened beings like Buddha, they hold consciously a desire to stay in the body, to help mankind. Their motivation for getting up in the morning is teaching. Krishna wakes up because he wants to establish dharma. Ramana Maharshi wakes up because he wants to teach. Buddha wakes up because he wants to teach. Okay. Prasadji, does that answer all the questions?
Yes, it does. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, so any other questions? Or should we close?
Yeah, we can.
Tanvi, is it clear?
Just on the... Sorry, I was just going to ask
I am
about
there.
the Omkara meditation.
Yes.
Is there a set number, like, when obviously when we do Gayatri Japa and all, we do certain numbers. So is there a set number or kind of, I don't know, some sort of a logic behind chanting so many times is beneficial or things like that?
Yeah. So the beginning, so what happens is there is dhyana, which is the practice itself, and there is gnana, which is the wisdom. So I gave you first the wisdom of Omkara. What is Om? Correct? I told you what is Om and expanded on that. With that wisdom, even if you do it once, you experience divinity. Okay? Otherwise, as a practice, you can start with the multiples of 9. The smallest you can do is 9. 9 is the number of infinity. Okay, 9 is a very auspicious spiritual number. You can say, I do it 9 times. That's the either do it once or 9 or multiples of 9. 9, 18, 27, like that. Okay. So you can do it only once. Just say in the morning you will do it once, and with that wisdom, with the understanding that all name and forms are Om. Everything seen and heard is Om, and you stay in that silence, experience the silence, and retain the silence. And when you're interacting with the world, let's say you go to office or something, just for a second, close your eyes, become aware of the top of the head, and recollect the teaching, and get back to work if that is possible. Otherwise, just become aware of the higher center in the body. Otherwise, you're unconsciously aware of the lower center, either your reproductive organs or stomach or emotions or the center. Usually, the mind is stuck in emotional center, stomach, which is the Manipura chakra, or Mooladhara, which is fear and sex. So consciously take it to Agna, the pineal and pituitary gland, so that you are in command. Just 1 second of awareness, like one in the darkest of the darkest room, one small diya lamp will bring light. Just 1 second of awareness of your divine nature will bring conscious actions throughout your day. And as a practice, when you're sitting in meditation, you can start with 9. Do it 9 times. So that's is 1. Like that, 9. And then there is 1 practice. If you have more time, 9 of and 9 of Om.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Thanks for that.
Okay, so was today's session clear? Pradeep?
Yes.
It's clear.
Meenakshi, questions answered? Any more questions?
No. Most of the questions were answered.
Tanvi?
Yeah, pretty clear. The life part about what you said, how our mind is evolving with the cow and how our body is evolving with the apes and monkeys. That part was very interesting to know.
Right. So you have a assignment, homework. Your assignment is you have to teach your mother
That's a very difficult job. That is why I got her to you.
and prepare her for the next session. Before the next session, I'll ask questions to your mother. What is Sanchita, Prarabdha, and everything. I will. I'll test. If she passes the test, you can attend the next class.
Probably I'll not attend next session from the start itself.
Okay.
It's more difficult to train more, as you said, like as you grow older, they have a lot more prejudice than as you are younger.
That's why it's.
So if I'm taking so many years to debate on what is being taught, she has much more thoughts on it. That in my life of 50 years, this happened. So
आसान होता तो it's a difficult task, I know, but she'll be very happy that my daughter is speaking Atma Gnana and about karma and everything. She'll be so happy that she'll tell everybody, सुनो सुनो ये क्या बोल रही है पहले तो कुछ एमिनिज्म और कुछ बॉलीवुड गाने बोल रही थी अब भगवद गीता बोल रही है Pratik,
okay,
clear?
I'll try.
Because Eminem and also they will start with Bhagavad Gita in some time. People follow them, right?
Yeah.
lot of like stars are doing these things.
Yeah. So Pratik, clear?
Krishna. Yeah.
So this from today to the next session, you can practice the Omkara Dhyana. So do not underestimate the practice. It is the most ancient practice. It has been what you hear that yogis practice in the caves. No, this is the practice that we do. Moving the energy in the spine and realizing your true nature. Just the Omkara Dhyana, the practice of Omkara Dhyana brings the Om impression at the time of death. Let's say the person doesn't get Jivan Mukti. Just because of the practice, Om starts coming at the time of death. And Krishna tells one who chants Om at the time of the death. That's why in Sanatana Dharma, they ask to chant, if they know that somebody is dying, they immediately go and tell them to chant the name of God. So that they'll enter that plane. Okay, so it's a very, 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 very sacred and the highest practice. That's why it's given so easily, effortlessly to you without free. Otherwise, meditation itself is a billion-dollar industry. Okay, everybody's trying to give meditation and take so much money. Right? But the best things in life you get for free. And God is the best thing that can happen to you. Never pay for God. So do the practice, and you yourself will start realizing. The intelligence will start opening, compassion starts opening, love starts opening, the peace starts expanding. You will know exactly what to do in your life. You will know exactly what to say when. You know exactly how to face any situation. Okay. Mohan, clear? Okay. So all of you as a family can sit and collectively do Omkara meditation with the children. And also, on that note of children, try to bring in this teaching, this exposure to children as much as possible. If you are exposed to children and if you have access to them, try to bring in, not too much, just a little bit. Try to bring in the wisdom. Children are very inquisitive. They will naturally follow when you answer the whys to their question, the answer to their questions. So tell them stories, show them the stories of Purana, movies of Prahalada, Krishna, and all that. Beautiful animations are out there. Bring them that exposure of Atmagna. Okay? So show them the videos of the British children chanting Bhagavad Gita. Have you seen that? In the British school. So fluently they chant the Bhagavad Gita. So you can learn the shloka yourself. One shloka whenever you can, one per week or per month. And teach what you know. Don't tell, okay, after I master it, I will teach. It will never happen. Whatever you know little, you give, it will grow in you. The more you give, the more you will grow. Okay, so with that, we'll close. We'll just chant a prayer and we'll close. Mohan, you can make Vihana also join the hands. Vihana, join your hands like this. Close your eyes. Asatoma.
Asatoma.
Everybody can take off your mute. Asatoma.
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 Sadgamaya.
Sadgamaya.
Tamasoma.
Tamasoma.
Jyotirgamaya.
Jyotirgamaya.
Mrityorma.
Mrityorma.
Amrutam Gamaya.
Amrutangamaya.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Let there be peace.
Let there be peace.
Throughout the universe. And all living beings.
All living beings.
In land.
In land. Air.
And sea.
And sea.
Have peace. Loka samasta.
Loka samasta.
Sukhino bhavantu. Harihi Om.
Harihi Om.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Shri Gurubhyo
Namaha.
Harihi Om.
Harihi Om.
My pranams to all. Okay, see you next.
Many thanks.
Thank you very much, Krishna.
Bye.
Thank you, Krishna.